So let's say I were to take you out of 1998. I were to just drop you on present day Auburn Tiger 2023 team, and you were to see what your head coach just did. So Hugh Freeze came in, and then the nature of the game today is you got holes on your roster. You've got especially a year one allowance to just go take as many guys as you can get to come in there. They have taken the equivalent of a pretty much a full starting offense. Not all of them will start, but they have brought those kind of numbers in. And they have, according to 24/7 Sports, they have more four-star or higher rated players out of the portal than any class this cycle. And that counts Colorado, who brought in like 114 kids. So there's a difference, though. The point I'm trying to make is there's a difference in the Xbox world where you just have a player comes in and his rating is the level of play you get out of him versus a real-life football team made of living, breathing humans where you got the bricks and then you got the mortar in between, or what we would call a team. How long does it take, man, to actually have those pieces form into a team? Because even in the SEC, I don't care who you start with, you're running into stiff competition pretty quickly. And like people are going to shake your cage pretty quickly. And if it's not cohesive, it doesn't matter how many stars you had next to the pieces. So I'm not saying he's not going to get the job done. I'm just saying it's such a new world. It fascinates me to watch all these portal pieces thrown together and then ask, okay, but is it going to be a team come September?
Let's look at a couple of examples of recent memory. Michigan State took they had 26 guys out of the portal, and it worked really well.
Right.
And then the next year kind of crashed and burned. Tennessee had every decent player that they had on their roster left. I mean, Wanya Morris, Oklahoma, Eric Gray, Oklahoma, like DeAndre Johnson, Miami, like everybody was gone. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's not as bad as we thought it was going to be. It might be okay. But when you talk about Hugh Freeze's tenure at Auburn, I would say he has cleared the first major hurdle, and that was upgrading the talent. And you referenced a lot of it. You could make a honest case right now. Half of their starters on their football team, now not on one side of the ball, or not all on one side, but half of the 22 that will start will be out of the portal
Easily
since Hugh Freeze has arrived. It's incredible to think about that. And I'm going to cheat here a little bit, but because there's too many names to remember. He brought in their best offensive tackle, Dylan Wade. He's the best tackle on the team. Jair Shorter is the best wide receiver on that football team. They brought him in from North Texas. Peyton Thorne is the best quarterback on that football team. They brought him in. Justin Rogers is the best interior defensive lineman. They brought him on that football team. You brought in an edge defender from App State that's going to be the best edge pass rusher that they have on that football team. There's 7, 8, Ronaldo Fairweather, by far the best tight end they have on that football team. He's going to have a big year, by the way. So you've got 7, 8 positions. That doesn't even count Shane Hooks coming in who could help at receiver, or a guy like Brian Battie at running back that's going to be maybe your second back when you run two-back stuff or catch the ball out of the backfield. It's going to help on special teams in the return game. You got 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 positions that he went and got the best guy you have on the roster. That is unbelievable. Now, that being said, that's the first hurdle. The second hurdle is, okay, you've collected the talent, now organize the talent. Now get the talent on the same page, have them understand what the assignments are, have them understand what the fundamentals are that go with those assignments, what's going to change, how it's going to change, and then, probably the hardest part, go formulate and find and allow guys to be leaders. So first thing you have to do is locate them, because I'm imagining based on what they were last year and the guys that are gone, there's probably not a ton of great leadership left on that roster. Probably some guys that want to be and some guys that are trying to be, but I always try to help people out with this. Like, I wanted to be a leader my redshirt freshman year, but I wouldn't practice with the defense every day. And I wasn't leading Takeo Spikes and the guys and Ricky Neal and Ryan Taylor. Like, I wasn't leading those guys. They didn't give a damn what I said. Now, no matter how hard I practiced or how hard I lifted in the weight room or everything else I did that the coaches wanted to, I wasn't a real leader on that football team. You pretty much have to be playing, probably starting, have to have been around for a little bit to be a true leader. So are there guys that they brought in that can take those roles and run with those roles, and the guys will get behind and follow? So you got to now organize that talent, instruct that talent, teach that talent, and then what the next hurdle will be when the season gets here, motivate that talent. Have the guys to go out and want to do things the right way and want to play hard consistently and want to play team football, whether it's situational or just like we talked about earlier, a defensive lineman getting out of a gap. Those are the next hurdles in line for Hugh Freeze, but he has passed the first one with flying colors because the talent upgrades across the board have been numerous. And I think it has a chance to make Auburn a really dangerous football team this year.
I'll tell you the other thing he has turned into. He's turned into this cycle's Brian Kelly. And by that I mean, remember Kelly came in last year and there was all the foolishness about what accent is he talking with, what kind of recruiting videos are we seeing out of Baton Rouge. There was all the stuff that actually doesn't matter that was dominating the headlines. Well, when Freeze came in, you had a lot of off-field stuff. You had a lot of the baggage from his past that people made the headline of Auburn hires Hugh Freeze, ... How are people ever going to send their kids to play for him? What about what he did at Ole Miss? Blah, blah, blah. And the question was, will he be able to overcome that? When's the last time you heard anyone talk about that? No one's bringing that up anymore. It's just like Kelly. Folks thought, oh, this is going to be an albatross around his ankle. 2 months later, it was gone because they were already getting results in recruiting. You were already feeling the positive vibes. Hugh Freeze, nothing has changed. He's still 0-0 as the head coach at Auburn. They still got a couple of months, like 100 days before they kick it off this year. But already, that's what the portal can do. Like, there's some negatives to it. There's some positives to it. One of the positives is if you're a new head coach, you can erase any kind of negative vibe before September just by going and leveraging that thing. And you got playing time you can offer, whether you're promising it or just saying, hey, you're smart. Look, there's wide open competition here. No one's even talking about it anymore. There's no negativity around him right now.
No, and you can gain momentum in different ways. Like you said, through the fan base, they see guys. And first off, that podcast that I do, we talk about it almost weekly, how people just pee their pants over anybody who goes in the portal. They're like, oh, God, portal kid, got to get him. I mean, it happened at Auburn with a wide receiver from Ohio State. You've seen the show. You see what I do. Players come to the SEC. I go pull their film. I watch them. We evaluate them. Everybody goes nuts about this receiver coming from Ohio State. I'm looking at every game. I'm looking at game logs. The kid hasn't played.
No.
I don't know what they're getting. I can't sit here and tell you that he's going to come in and be Randy Moss or he's going to come in and even be Courtney Taylor. Like, I have no idea because I haven't seen what he's capable of doing. But when you add that talent, and then now with the way people pay attention to the portal and what that has become, you can ignite a fan base. I think you can ignite and help motivate an administration. And in Auburn's case, somehow the collective can be ignited and can be forwarded a little bit, and people can all of a sudden start getting behind that just a little bit more. And let's be real, there's a competitive portion that should be happening when you bring in guys who are as good or better than me, and now all of a sudden it doesn't look like that's just my position to go sit on for the entire season. So the level of concern, positive concern from players of, I need to watch more film, I need to work out, I need to get inside the facility a little bit more. If all those things go up, then you have raised the level of quality of your football team before you've even played a game.